All right, hell yeah. So all right, so I finally did it. I got a bag full of water, and I put it right here, and you can see how much water's in here. I don't know, like I do need this side view to see if you can see the trim, because I want to see how trimmed out this is. But we're gonna paddle towards you. Let me paddle out here and see if you can see the difference. And I'll try to catamaran. All right, hell yeah. So two things you'll notice by putting any sort of weight in the front. That's why I'm gonna do this, try to do this real fast, because I don't think there's a lick of difference between maybe putting weight right here than just in the center console. And in the center, it actually might do a lot better because it'll push down on that floor. And I think that helps the boat. It almost gives the boat a little bit of a keel, or it at least puts the flotation, the part that's trying to float the boat, in the middle, kind of gripping. Where a traditional raft, I mean, the floor kind of might be sucked up, so then your points of contact are always on the outside. So when you're paddling forward in R1, you're more likely just to spin on those points of contact. But that's why R1 is so much different than a canoe. I got someone who's just like, oh yeah, in canoeing, you know, it's just like, well, the canoes are so narrow and long, and they track. Where you just imagine you could have an R1 boat that doesn't track at all. You know what I mean? So you are, I mean, there's no difference between paddling it sideways, doing a paddle pry this direction. You know what I mean? They're just, it's the same motion. I'm paddling towards you and then I'm prying. All right, so let me paddle out here and see if you can see the difference. And I'll try to catamaran. I would feel comfortable. Now in a whitewater raft, you're just going to tip over. But with this amount of weight, I think I'd feel comfortable. You know what I mean? If it fell over, I don't think that would make it any worse, because the bag would kind of float in the water. Alright, so hell yeah, two things. One is it definitely helps the catamaran. Two, it's extra weight, so it feels like it's harder to paddle against. But I'm fine with that, because for every, because I can paddle harder, and if the boat tracks better, then that motion is going forward. You know what I mean? And I can maintain that. So that's the best thing with any weight in the front. We'll do one more lap and then get this filled up, and then stick my 40 to 50 pounds right in the front, and then paddle around. But what you'll notice is that when you paddle, the boat, you know, it doesn't just want to spin in a circle, because you have weight up there. So the boat is just evenly weighted. I think that's the deal with R1. When you're just the weight in the middle, you know, the boat is just kind of made out of air and very lightweight material. 160 pounds compared to 60 pounds all around. I mean, you got 10 pounds here, you know, per every, or even less than 10 pounds per every square foot, you know, every linear foot of perimeter. So anyway, so yeah, so just having any sort of, I think it's like, what would be the word, like bipodal, or just, anyway, I'm just making up physics words, but having weight here and having weight here, that's the physics dynamics. Now you're paddling something that's in a line, and then so its rotational inertia is a lot larger, you know what I mean? So now when I paddle, the boat doesn't want to rotate, and it doesn't rotate as far, so when I pry, I don't have to rotate it back as far. So if you're R1 rafting, hell yeah, the first thing you should do, throw 40 pounds of water in a dry bag just right in the front of your boat, and you'll just be like, oh, I can just have such hard paddle strokes, and this just feels good. All right, let's do the catamaran one more, and then we'll fill this sucker up and then paddle around.